Bureaucratic.org, coming to you live from the beautiful town of Lahaina, Hawaii. If you guys wouldn't mind letting me know if my audio is okay. I've been having some challenges with it lately, so hopefully it is. If you're new to my channel, I'm all about teaching you everything there is to know about Hawaii and its real estate, but you can't find in the listing. At least that's what I've always said. In the last 469 days, however, the channel transformed itself to a little bit of a, I would like to think, a community service helping bring awareness to the island of Maui, Hawaii. So the purpose of this video, if anyone's questioning what I'm doing down here, is I'm bringing awareness to what's going on Maui. And as you watch this video, I'd like you to ask yourself one question. How many homes are you seeing that have been rebuilt or being rebuilt? You see foundations 469 days after the fire. So as I go around and I tour you on this video, I want you just to take a mental note of how many you see that have started construction 469 days after the fire. And we're going to head over to the red roofed house, the viral red roofed house, which I believe was a 100-year-old plus home, plantation home that miraculously did not burn. And there's a number of homes, quite frankly, most of them are oceanfront, monstrosities that didn't burn. But I'm back here in a neighborhood known as Shark Pit. I'm right off the street called Ilikahi, and this is definitively a working class neighborhood. So I want you just to imagine right now, if you lost your home 469 days ago and your job, and you still are looking at an empty lot. You still don't have a job, and you got $700 per household by Joe Biden. How would you be surviving? Where would you be living? How would you be coping? And is it right that the people of Lahaina, 469 days later, still have not had the opportunity to start building on their homes? And I'm going to explain what we're being told, why that is, essentially, which is, I think, a lame excuse. So if this is important to you, if you want to bring awareness to this little town, this little surf town, this little piece of paradise, I encourage you to please share the video. Please write your congressman. Please let the new administration know when they come in, they ought to do something about Lahaina. They ought to give some more money to these people. They ought to expedite building permits. They ought to make sure insurance companies are paying, and they ought to get more than $700 from the federal government. So if you agree with that, please thumb up the video, share the video, and subscribe to the video, and let's get this tour started right now. So where am I at? Like I said, I'm in the beautiful town of Lahaina. The sun is going down, and these are the epic 5,000-foot towering peaks that we get to look at in our backdrop of the Kahalavai Mountains, also known as the West Maui Mountains. You can see here some homes that survived, 3 homes that survived right there, but everything else that I'm going to show you, I believe, is still 100% not been built on. Now you'll see some homeowners have brought down campers, lot owners I should say, and I heard from Ed, my handyman, the best handyman on the planet, because he also has a lot. He heard that they've been hassling people that are down here with their campers, with their RVs, not allowing them, giving them a hard time about camping on their properties. So we're going to head over to Front Street, and we're going to drive right by the red roofed house. The video went viral. I had nothing to do with that video going viral. But I'd like this video to go viral because we need the attention of the world back on Lahaina. We don't want to be forgotten. We would prefer to be helped. And the people of this town deserve your absolute best. They deserve the government's best. They deserve the best. And so far, do you think that they've gotten the best? Do you think that they've gotten the best? What do you think? Have they got the best support? Have they received the best that America has to offer? There's one of those McMansions I mentioned to you that survived. There's actually 2 of them, 3 very large homes down there that all survived the fire oceanfront. So one of the reasons they're saying these people can't build is because these properties are located in what's called an SMA zone, which is basically close to the ocean. It's like a special management area, and they're not issuing permits, from what I've been told, for homes that are located in the SMA area. And they're redrawing the lines of what is considered legal to build in front of the ocean. So I question that. How does that work when you have other homes that are still right on the ocean? Shouldn't everybody be able to rebuild, because that wouldn't be fair to anybody if the homes that did survive are still allowed to stay up? So I'd love your opinion in the comments. Here's another wonderful little plantation home that survived the fire, which is quite shocking if you think about it. That's single wall construction, you know, old dry wood, survived, man. But I'm just gonna take you for a real slow cruise down Front Street here. This is the iconic Front Street. This is the south, excuse me, the south end of Front Street. This is a very awesome little neighborhood. There was a beautiful home. That's, matter of fact, that's Jim Neighbors' home that's still standing down there. Remember Jim Neighbors? Surprise, surprise, surprise. That was Jim Neighbors' old home. And I don't know where these big, beautiful flags came from, but proud to see they're flying here on the shores of Lahaina. I don't remember those in the past. I should kind of know, because I used to live right here. Also, notably, all the Maui County buildings survived. That's a little water transfer station of some kind. But yeah, this is actually where I lived when I first moved to Maui, right here, 350 Front Street. And I did not live here at the time of the fire. I actually sold this home. But there's a beautiful plantation home there. There was a little ohana, which is a cottage over there, another cottage back there, and you can still see the bean pool right there. The bean pool, they put fences around all the pools, but that's the little bean pool my kids got to enjoy all those years ago. I actually have a video that I made in that house. I'll have to post it one of these days. Last time I checked, you can actually go down Google Street Map View and you can still cruise down these streets the way they were before the fire. This, if you guys remember, was, we called it like the hurricane house. It was the big concrete house. See how deep it went? They said that would be there until the end of time, because it was made of all concrete, total concrete. The whole thing was concrete. It's gone. I don't know how that happened. Also, notably, I wanted to point out that they have cut down all of the mango trees. I've been told by numerous folks. By the way, this is Longy's. I believe this is where Longy's house. Remember Longy's, the restaurant? I believe that is Longy's house right there. The owner, who of course passed. However, that's where his home was. But I was told, what was I told? Oh yeah. So I had, on this property right here, 350 Front Street, there was 3 massive mango trees right here. Oh, the most beautiful Hayden mangoes you'll ever, not Hayden, I'm trying to remember the name, sorry. YouTube Live, man, it'll get you every time. But I was told that they cut down all of the surviving trees, especially the fruit-bearing trees. Why is that? That doesn't make any sense. Why would they cut down all the mango trees? A friend of mine who owned a property, he says he was coming down, taking care of his mango tree, and watering it, and was actually getting fruit off of it. He was afraid to eat the fruit, of course, but he says it was actually fruiting, and then they cut it down without his permission. And he asked why. The authorities, they said because they are considered widow makers. The trees could fall over and could hurt people. It's like, well, if they're still alive and they're still bearing fruit, but why did they cut down all the trees? So we're coming up on the infamous red roofed house right here. Can you see it coming up? But this is an absolutely iconic, beautiful little surf town neighborhood, the south side of Front Street, the quiet side of Front Street. If you ever stayed, there was a bed and breakfast on Ilikahi. I know a lot of Europeans stayed there and they loved staying on Front Street, because you could basically just go and walk into town, go to restaurants, go surf at Break Wall. Here it is, guys, the iconic red roof house that survived. You can see it. It took some melting right there. It took a little heat for sure. But yeah, why that one survived and everything else. Now so far, guys, how many foundations have you seen that have started? How many How many 2x4s that have been erected? What have you seen? How many? What's the count so far? 469 days later. Is that right? Is that the best? Are we doing our best for the people of Lahaina? Are we doing the best for the people of Maui, for Hawaii, for our country? Not having a single sign of construction in the SMA zone, which is right by the ocean. Yes, there's homes going up on the other side of the highway, but why is there no construction happening here? This gate right here, by the way, is Puamana. Many homes were lost in the little gated neighborhood known as Puamana. This is actually one of my favorite times of the day. If you're out surfing right now and you're looking up at the West Maui Mountains, they're still catching some of that sunset glow, the glorious glow. It's just been a beautiful Saturday here. We have a big swell that just rolled in. I was up dawn patrolling this morning at S-turns. You know, Maui is still amazing. It's still the best lifestyle I think you'll ever find on planet Earth. And unfortunately, we're dealing with this horrendous destruction that happened in our beloved Lahaina town. Many would call it the heart of Maui. Many would call it the heart of Hawaii. This, is, of course, was the capital of Hawaii when it was part of the Hawaiian kingdom. So I believe it was an arrow straight into the heart of the community, of the island, of the state, and certainly I believe of the people of this country, because if this wasn't your wake-up call to what's going on, then it ought to be. It ought to be your wake-up call. And your wake-up call to take some action, right? To do something, to call somebody, to write a letter, to just take 20 minutes out of your life and let your voice be heard. Post something on your social media, write a letter to your congressman, send a message to the White House, preferably after inauguration. Or maybe there's a way we can notify Trump now. JFK was here just not a few months ago, but he was here after the fire. He came and visited, and I think he did a video with Eddie. So JFK, I know, this is on his, not JFK, RFK, excuse me. Just had the anniversary of JFK's death. That's why that was maybe top of mind a little bit. But so far, how many new constructions have you cited? Have you seen any yet? Anything? Not a stick of construction is happening here. These homes, these lives are devastated. They are literally stuck in time. They're stuck on August 8th, 2023. Nothing, in my humble opinion, has changed for these people. If anything, it's the long, drawn-out financial strangulation of innocent lives. Financial strangulation. That's what it is. And trust me, I talk to a lot of people that lost their homes here, and absolutely every one of them tells me the exact same thing. This isn't some kind of narrative. We aren't looking for some type of, clickbait. This is simply the truth. And the reason I'm posting this video is so that you will bring it back into your remembrance. Maybe you'll share the video. Maybe you'll subscribe to the channel. Maybe you'll thumb it up, because that'll tell the algorithm, hey, quit shadow banning this guy. Because that's exactly what's happened to me over the year. Hard to believe, right? Hard to believe the world we live in. Hard to believe. Any construction yet? No. Someone set up a little prayer area there in front of their Buddha. You can see some people have set up some storage pods and places to park, and there's people sleeping in some of these things. Like I said, they're getting hassled by the man. It's truly unbelievable. All I gotta say is it's time to lift the SMA no permit situation, and it's time to bring in some help. Let me just give you a couple examples of things that I've heard from people. If you want to build, now I have friends of mine that are building right now, right? They just started, and they had to hire special consultants to help them get it through Maui County Planning. So imagine you don't have the financial resources to hire a consultant to help you get it through the red tape. And then they're requiring surveys. Those are super expensive. Let me just tell you, the amount of red tape that these people are having to deal with is absolutely criminal. It's criminal, right? It should be expedited. And you want to see what not expedited looks like? This is what non-expedited looks like. This is what government red tape looks like. This is what it looks like. It looks like no progress. That's what it looks like. And where's all the helper bees now? Where's everybody now? You know, right after the fire, you know, you couldn't not have 1,000 offerings for help, right? Everybody wants to help, and that is so fantastic. Don't get me wrong, it's amazing. The amount of help that came from people all across this country, all across this world is truly heartwarming. But let's remember, it's not over. You know, they say the average American has got the attention span of what, 15 seconds or something crazy? How do you compete with the scroll? How do you compete with the next soundbite, the next news story, the next fake news story? How do you compete with that? How do you move the needle to help people, to actually dig in to the deep recesses of our horrendous, bureaucratic, corrupted government officials and their systems and processes to help the common man? Because let me tell you what, guys, these homes I'm pointing at that were back in here, these weren't multi-million-dollar homes, okay? I mean, they could have been in terms of some of the market value, don't get me wrong, but we're not talking, okay, the average home price back in here was probably, I'm guessing, about $850. But these were homes that were built in the 40s and 50s. They were cinder block homes, 3-bedroom, 1 or 2 bath, nothing fancy, right? They had mortgages, they had jobs. It was working class. It wasn't these oceanfront homes. And someone needs to do an investigation as to why some of these oceanfront homes survived. Why? What was it? What was in their construction? What was it that caused them to not burn? Wouldn't that be good to know? I don't know. I'd be curious. I am curious. I don't understand it. I don't understand anything that happened down here, to tell you the truth. All I do is I just point the camera and I let you guys draw your own conclusions. I've been labeled a conspiracy theorist. What was conspiracy theory last week is truth this week. And all I've ever done is point the camera and ask the question, what? Why? How? How is this possible? How is this possible that each family got $700? How is that possible? How is it possible that 469 days later, none of these homes are being rebuilt? How is it possible that they're not issuing permits in SMA areas? I don't know. I'm just asking the question. How is it possible? How is it possible that the entire Lahaina town is still completely closed down? You don't believe me? There's the Checkpoint Charlie. These things are running 24/7. Can you see the Checkpoint Charlie? I don't want to get too close to it, but I want to show it to you with this beautiful iPhone 16 zoom. Can you believe that? I don't know how many of those are throughout town. I bet you it's at least 10, but every possible way into Lahaina, with the exception of where I'm at right now, you cannot enter to this day. They are monitored and guarded 24/7. 24/7. There's these big giant lights that basically illuminate their area, and they have got a generator running, and you cannot enter Lahaina. To this day, this is the only area that is accessible other than up by Safeway. And why they opened up this, I don't know. I'm thankful that they did, because I'm able to come down here and show you guys what's going on and provide some video evidence. Has there ever been is it unprecedented that in a fire zone, 469 days later, it's still locked down? Is that unprecedented? I think it is. So, anyway, guys, thank you so much for your concern. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your attention. It means a lot to me. If you want to support some folks here, please don't forget the Lahaina Project, switchforlahaina.com. There'll be a link in the description. Thank you, Christian Henneke, for doing all that you've done to help the workers, the people from this town that are on that project. Switchforlahaina.com. You'll talk to somebody from this town, somebody that is working hard with that project, and I thank you, Christian, for all that you've done. So if you want to support, that's one way you can do it. Obviously, there's all kinds of GoFundMes, there's all kinds of people out there that still need your support. They probably need it more now today than they did a year ago or 6 months ago, because it just continues. The strangulation. You want to see the financial strangulation? Look at it. That's called no hale. That's called no home. I got no home, brah. Why? Couldn't they have done something? I just don't understand. There's so many gory details to explain, but let's suffice it at this. It's not enough, and we need the attention put back on to this island, on this town, and these people. And I know that you can do whatever it is I believe that God is calling you to do. And I thank you ahead of time for doing those things, for helping, for bringing awareness, for letting your voice be heard, and how you feel about what's happening here, and what's not happening here, and what should be happening here, and retributions that need to be made. It's not too late. There needs to be at least one official criminal investigation into what happened here. At least one. Not one single person has been criminally investigated like Herman Andaya that didn't sound the alarm. There's so many sirens around here. I didn't point them out, but there's so many sirens here. Not a single text alert went out to these people. Let's not forget what happened on that day. Let's not forget what happened to the people of Lahaina. Let's never forget. And there needs to be accountability, and that's not happening either. Nothing is happening, basically. Forgotten. That's what it is. It's been forgotten. Don't let it be forgotten. We can decide to not let it be forgotten. And I believe we will do that. So I thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for tuning in. Please share the video, please like, please subscribe. Please don't forget about Lahaina. Please come to Maui. That's the other thing, is we have horrendous visitor numbers. Tourism is so down. There should be a campaign, don't you think? Doesn't it make sense that the governor and the tourism board would do a campaign? Come back to Maui, come back. Millions of dollars should be being spent to promote tourism on this island. But instead, they're allowing a message to go out from a very small minority of people, Lahaina Strong, saying people aren't welcome here. That's wrong. That is wrong. Tourism is what helps pay these people's bills. There are people that are here still trying to survive, and they need tourism because that's the only vibrant, it's not vibrant at the moment, but it's the economy that they depend on. So why isn't Hawaii Tourism Board doing a active campaign to bring people back? Remember during COVID, they offered $500 gift certificates to go back to the restaurants because they were trying to help the restaurants come back, and they were trying to get people back out in the community. What is going on to promote tourism on this island? Not only are they not promoting tourism, they're actually trying to ban vacation rentals. So now that's causing the apartment rental market to swell up with inventory, and people are wanting to leave the island because they feel this unwelcomeness. And I challenge that. It's just a very small percentage. It's a fake narrative is all that it is. It's not a real narrative. But guess what? Fake narratives work because people listen. And unfortunately, they have tender hearts and they don't want to be somewhere where they're not welcome. So all those statements need to be retracted by these horrible activist organizations that are on the fringe and don't represent the majority of the people that live here. But why is there no active campaign? Why didn't Maui County even retract Herman Andaya when they said, hey, do you regret not sounding the alarm? He said, no, I don't regret it. Why wouldn't Maui County Public Relations come out and say, we retract that statement. We do regret it. We should have sounded the alarm. There's so many wrongs that need to be righted. It's not even funny. It's not, the list of indulgences is so long. Where's the public outcry? Where's the public apology? Where's the humility? Where's the permits to build homes? Where's the money from the federal government to support these people? Where is it? It's evaporated because it was never even there. It's a joke. And I hope that this gets you fired up again. I hope that you will activate whatever you can activate to help this beautiful little island. Because the way I look at it, and I said this from the very beginning, if you're not willing to stand up for what is your playground, right? This is the playground of the world, not just the US. This is the playground of the world. If you're not willing to defend your playground, the place that you come to relax and enjoy and to take in the beauty of one of the most beautiful places on earth, if you're not willing to defend and stand up for this place, you're not going to defend Kansas, you're not going to defend Iowa, you're just not. This place needs to be defended. I believe this was the canary in the cage. I believe this is where the wake-up call happened. This is where the coffee was brewed, that you can smell, hopefully, and see the truth of what's going on. But the change still needs to come. And quite frankly, it has not. It has not. I am so almost disgusted at how things have gone. I'll be honest with you. The fact that they're dumping all of the ash right there next to the ocean, the fact that they just do these public meetings and they don't change anything. They don't listen, they don't care. And just the fact that a lot of these people were just reelected, it's shocking, it's horrendous. But the good news is this: I believe God is on the side of the people of Lahaina. I believe God's in control, and I believe that those that did wrong will be ousted eventually. There is justice in this country, and I believe it's coming swiftly. And I hope that there's some whistleblowers out there that will step forth. I hope there's some political power players that are on the side of good and God and will come and step forth and make some things happen. And I believe that the people of this country will let this be an example of the way a disaster should be handled. It shouldn't be an example of people getting screwed. Right? I hope you agree. I hope you'll thumb up. I hope you'll share. I hope you'll subscribe. And I hope you'll do something. And most importantly, I hope you'll come to Maui this winter, this spring, that you make your plans, that you'll tip heavily, and that you will spread the word, you'll spread the aloha, because the attack went right into the center of what I believe is the most aloha-infused place on the island of Maui, in Hawaii, and it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work because we're going to continue to fight. We're going to continue to do what we're supposed to do, and the destiny shall unfold according to God's plan for this place. And if you agree, don't just give me an amen. Give me a yes, sir, and pray it on your knees tonight. We need help, and I believe it's coming. So thank you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you tuning in. Until next time, I shall return. I don't know where, I don't know when, but I can promise you one thing. It'll be from the most beautiful place on planet Earth, the best lifestyle I think you'll ever find, Maui, Hawaii. And don't forget to click in the description, switchforlahaina.com, and give your support. Don't keep giving your money to the elites. Give your money to Made in America, family owned, and not weaponized food and amazing products that can help support the people from this town. Thank you guys. Until next time, Eric West out. Thank you so much. Mahalo nui loa for tuning in. I never take that lightly. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your share. Thank you for your subscribe. And thank you for reaching out to somebody that can help this little island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Aloha.